All right, so today I have only one article for you and the Project 2025 tracker. So let's start with the fun of watching people who don't know what the hell they're talking about getting slammed. And specifically Trump's lawyers getting slammed for a trans military ban. Because, it's not like they used facts and logic to create this ban in the first place, right? So, watch them get smacked down. Judge delivers scathing rebuke to Trump lawyers defending military trans ban. All right. So, the federal judge considering a temporary injunction of President Trump's order to ban trans service members from the U.S. military delivered a scathing rebuke to lawyers defending the order on Wednesday. Standing here today, you do not understand the scope of the ban, U.S. District Court Judge Ana Reyes told them. You don't understand the scope of the symptoms of gender dysphoria. You don't know the answer to what attempted to transition means. At what point Reyes gave them 30 minutes to get their act together before resuming the 5-hour proceeding. The hearing addressed documents related to Trump's January 27th executive order imposing a blanket ban on trans service members in the military, including a Pentagon memo issued in February that states the medical, surgical, and mental health constraints on individuals who have a current diagnosis or history of or exhibit symptoms consistent with gender dysphoria are incompatible with the high mental and physical standards necessary for military service. And yet, trans military members have been serving and serving well. Funny how that works. Jason Mannion, a lawyer for the administration, tried clarifying the scope of the claim, saying the policy doesn't address all trans people. Judge Reyes then cited a Defense Department post on X from February 27th, which declared transgender troops are disqualified from service without an exception. Don't you just hate it when you try to pass off some bullshit and the person you're trying to do that to, bothers to read? Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth shared the same post from his official account. Do you think you can say one thing in public and say another in court? Reyes asked. This wasn't some off-the-cuff remark at a cocktail party. The judge asked if Hegseth was using loose language. Mannion countered it was shorthand. I'm not going to speculate that he was just being sloppy when he said that. I'm going to take him at his word, Reyes replied. The judge then questioned government attorneys about a literature review and studies cited in the February memo, documents she'd previously asked them to come prepared to discuss at the day's hearing. Justice Department Attorney Jason Lynch confessed he hadn't read the materials, which led Reyes to pause the proceedings. Right, because they probably had some flashy headline, flashy title that made them think it said something when it wasn't saying that. But let's see if there's any clarification. Referring to the memo, Reyes later suggested officials cherry-pick parts of a study cited in it and ignored the context by not including comparisons of trans service members' performance to their straight peers. We can't say anything about whether this data is meaningful without any point of comparison, Reyes said. So we're being taught how statistics works from a judge. You would hope that lawyers or anybody would understand that if you're going to cite a study, you had better damn well, one, read the damn thing, and two, understand what the hell it's saying. Without context, the data is meaningless, she said. I wouldn't say it's meaningless. It's some data, the government attorneys argued. Okay, data for what, you dipshits? The original study showed that a group of trans service members were deployed longer than a comparison group of non-transgender service members who were diagnosed with depression, the judge said. This will tell us that trans service members are actually better suited to stay in service, Reyes said. Service members with gender dysphoria suffer more suicidal ideation, not for biological reasons, the study showed, but because they face more stigma and discrimination, Reyes said. And it's sad that we needed a study to tell us that. Duh. Any trans person or trans ally could tell you that. All right. So because they're used to having to overcome depression, they're better suited than cis people because they happen to know the coping mechanisms. The judge also told the lawyers the government undermined its own argument that trans service members disrupt unit cohesion, citing the plaintiff's evidence that former military officials hadn't seen any examples demonstrating it. What exactly were they trying to prove if it actually says the opposite? If former military officials in the plaintiff's own evidence say they hadn't seen any examples of disruption, then why were they using it? What did they think it was saying? Are these people stupid? Lead plaintiff Nick Talbot, like every other service member, has been deemed physically and mentally fit for duty, has no accommodation, has had no issues with deployability, and has more service awards than you and I have books in our library, Reyes said. Or just her, because it sounds like these people don't do reading well. Each of the plaintiff's service records is remarkable, the judge continued. You're going to get rid of all these very qualified people who the military has spent millions of dollars into training specialized jobs for no other reason than they had gender dysphoria or they transitioned, she added. Reyes is expected to hand down her decision on an injunction next week. So, just more proof that this stupid ban is stupid, because even if they weren't more capable than cis people, because let's face it, everyone's different, so everyone copes differently. Even if that weren't the case, the fact remains that these people have been serving just fine. Nobody has seen any indication of a disruption. No one's seen any trans person showing a lack of abilities. They're deployable, they get awards, they have high service marks. So, why are we getting rid of these people again? Oh, that's right, you find trans people icky. What the hell? Okay, so, that is the end of that article. So now let's look at Project 2025 tracker. So we have completed 41% of Project 2025. Let's see. So 99 objectives have been completed. 47 are in progress. Let's see if I missed any completions. So in the Department of the Interior, reinstate Trump's Migratory Bird Treaty Act, which companies will not be punished for killing migratory birds. I have to make this bigger. Note, Interior suspended Biden era of migratory bird protections. So, Yeah, that's how we're making America great again, by killing migratory birds and saying it's perfectly fine. Seriously, what the fuck are companies doing that they're killing migratory birds? Alright, let's see what else I've missed. Let's see. I don't know if I mentioned this, but from the Commerce Department, abolish the Census Bureau, National Advisory Committee on Race. Oh, I did do this on race, ethnic, and other populations. Because, the only people that actually are worth anything are white people. We couldn't possibly care about anybody else. It's still up in the air whether they care about white women. But maybe they do, as long as they're incubators. Let's see. Institute a pause and review of all grants through the EPA. Let's see. EPA terminated grant agreements worth $20 billion. So I have no idea what the grants are, but the EPA is already rolling back its protections, so that's great. Speaking of rolling back, rollback goal of haze reduction, or in other words, visible air pollution. Because that's how we're making America great again, by ensuring that people with asthma can never go outside. Ensuring that people who were otherwise healthy get sick and die. Yeah, that's how we're going to make America great again. What the hell? I realize that a lot of businesses do not like regulations because it does cost them more, but some of these regulations are there for a reason. Why would you look at that regulation and say, oh yeah, that makes sense, let's pollute to our heart's content so the air becomes unbreathable and so people can't actually go outside? Yeah, sounds like a plan. Alright, so those are the only ones that I see without digging deeper that they've added. Let's see. I believe that is all I have for this one. But it's so not good that we're just getting closer and closer to a complete dismantling of Project 2025. And so far, the Democrats aren't doing anything to stop it. Which, well, some Democrats are attempting to, but unfortunately it's not effective at the moment because it's not enough. But anyway, that is all I have for this article and this video. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.